Well, that may not have been my favorite showcase, but it was an improvement over the last one, I would say, for reasons I'm about to explain. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my belated reaction and thoughts on this month's PlayStation State of Play, which streamed about 5 days ago. I just I've been so occupied with the 200 subscriber special, getting that finished. It just took till now to actually talk about it, so let's get started. First off an update for Astrobot, which adds 5 new stages to the game this fall alongside a collection of new bots to rescue, including ones that they wanted to include in the launch build, but uh, they had to hold off until now. The Helldivers 2 bots, I mean, especially as it joins the many representations across their vast history in what I among many consider to be like a fun throwback to collect on platformers. Not just I don't mind the parallels to Mario either. I thought I actually see more DNA of early crashed Spyro titles and even and ones like Ape Escape, all of which actually got representation there in some way. And as for Garvin being salty about the Deacon and being a bot in this game, well, out of respect, Mr. Garvin, and with the rest of your team and Witwer on this one, I mean, come on. I'm always going to side with the guy who did the EIR for Darth Maul. Mm-hmm. Next up, we have one that can be played on its own or with PSVR 2, who the Midnight Walk. There's no actual date yet, but I will say I like the style of going there. I always like when stop motion is implemented in video games in some way. A, I mean, even if the game itself isn't always the best, I definitely appreciate the effort for wanting to do that. And this is the kind of stuff I could see the pro model being used for, not just the realism, but also for the stylization, as will be demonstrated with other games we're talking about in this video. Okay, so next up, we've got another new game with no release date yet. It definitely has elements of both horror and action, and maybe even some Souls-like elements in there. It's simply titled Hell Is Us. I'm not going to go too far one way or the other yet, but I will say it has potential, which is I feel about a lot of stuff lately. I mean, in terms of there's me being a skeptic, there's me being a cautious optimist. There's a little gray area in between. That's why I operate. So let's continue. Hey, November 7th, Metro Awakening VR is only one of a handful of PSVR 2 games being shown in this presentation. I'm not the most into VR or Metro as a series, but it looks interesting, I'll say the least. I mean, I guess find out how that turns out when it comes out this November. 2025, one of several games coming out next year, is Arcade's Chronicles. I mean, I've not played these games at all. I only am familiar with them from a lot of the online deep dives about how the game has been managed and how the company has been and behaving lately. Spoilers, they have not been behaving the best. I could definitely say that much. Which mean, it's certainly not the only one in this video that I will bear mention to, such as the next topic. Okay, Palworld. Hold. Well, this is simply awkward timing to release this port, I would say, given the currently ongoing lawsuits that Pocket Pair has found themselves in. And I'm not actively commenting on it too much. And despite some people already drawing lines in the sand with Nintendo and TCPI on one, and this game and pocket pound the other. I have an inkling that's not gonna go the way anyone thinks. I mean, I'm skeptical about it, expecting the entire industry as I have much more. It's more statistically likely it'll just be affecting this one company who I'd like to point out for trying to defend them. Not in the first time they've done on stuff that isn't entirely above board. Might as well move on now. Alright, so we have much more pleasant reveal. Lunar Remaster Collection coming in spring 2025 with the cult favorite RPG games. It's not the only platform they're going to remaster for, but they're going to be coming to PS4 and 5, so a whole new generation of players can enjoy these titles. In fact, as someone who has not played them, to my knowledge, I'm open to seeing what they're like. I mean, at the very least, I think I would find them more interesting than Legend of Bruno Grandia. I'm sorry, guys. I just could not get into those ones, despite what people have been telling me otherwise. However, something that's a bit more bodacious is going to be my next topic. And case in point, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Revenge has gotten an update. It's its most recent one, which features remixes of the game's soundtrack. I mean, the work that Tay Lopez did is already fantastic, but among the many people featured includes Anna Maguchi, who worked on Scott Pilgrim's World, the game, and also another update called Radical Reptiles, which adds both Mona Lisa and Mondo Gecko to one of the cast playable characters and they're both recurring allies the franchise made use of in more than once since the 1997 show. We had both Mondo get variants, both the 2012 series and now the Mutant Mayhem verse. Here's Mona was also showed up in the 2012 show. A bit had more her antagonistic and uneasy allyship, but still just a new dynamic to them. So let's continue. Speaking of collaborations between franchises I love, let's talk about the Sonic Movie 3 collab featuring Keanu Reeves as the voice of Shadow in Sonic Cross Shadow Generations, which will be a post-launch piece of content for the game. It'll be included with the Digital Deluxe Edition, I guess also be made available for everyone else on the same time when it launches December 12th. Nice symmetry, which will also be the week before the movie comes out. I definitely can bet that it's going to be another hit for Paramount. I don't know if it'll be doing huge numbers, but I could say it'll make a respectable amount, and given all the Easter eggs I've already seen, and the many times I've watched the first trailer, like how you see Borderlands, this is how you adapt a video game for the screen. And next up, we have Fantasian Neo Dimension coming December 5th. And it's normally headed up by Hironobu Sakaguchi, formerly of Square, before they became part of Enix, as in Square Enix. I definitely am going to be keeping an eye on this game. I also want to note that Sakaguchi's English is getting a lot better than it once was. Not the only one I'll be observing either, so be back with you then. So, several ones that's launching Halloween. Not quite a spooky game, but should still be interesting to see. Dragon Age 4, The Veilguard. I certainly hope it's good, and we can put all these narratives about how the difficulty options and inclusivity of bed. I think the detractors all need a new shtick. I'm just glad it's not a live service game, especially after Anthem and many other titles are not being a non-starter. It's simple. For every Overwatch Destiny 2 that's been able to make it work, there's a whole mass grave of other titles that, including ones that came out recently this year, that never really made it. Alan Wake 2, the Lake House expansion coming in October. I mean, even though I didn't enjoy the second game as much as the first one, in spite of what some people banging about these PR firms might tell you, I at least consider it to be worth playing, and especially the implication that now all Remedy's IP take place in the virtual universe. It also means that like the same speed as Max Payne, my personal favorite, Control, and I definitely I'm at least glad they still continue to support the game, even though it wasn't as big a hit as the admittedly stacked October launch show, which included like a new 2D Mario game, new 2D Sonic game, a new Spider-Man game, and many others. There's a same deal like with Epic backing them. I understand why they took the deal, given how they offer very generous revenue share. My understanding, even if I'm not a huge fan about how they do other parts of business, understandably so. And the last of the PSVR 2 games, I believe, we're talking about today, Hitman World of Assassination, coming December. Another thing I might consider getting that set up for. Looks like it will be containing what's easily my favorite aspect of the franchise, the amount of ways you can eliminate a target you're assigning to take out. I mean, not just obvious ones like blades and firearms, but also anything like automotive equipment, tattoo needles, my personal favorites, which they also show there, the industrial strike laxative. You can put that in someone's food or drink, take them out while they're on the john, and then blend in with their outfit to make the rest of the mission easier. Classic. December 10th, another pleasant surprise. It turns out the rumors were indeed true, who, as I often wait for confirmation of them to be, but Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered December 10th on all platforms. On top of the original game, also coming to PS Plus soon. I'm so glad I had to see this as a longtime fan of the franchise, and it has been way too long since anything besides that terrible Nosgoth spin-off was there. And I'm just glad that they were among the parties spared here the absolute massacre of Embracers, her studio closures early in the year, especially after that financial backing fell through. Who I'm still not a huge fan of that kind of binge and purge either. Hopefully the people that will let go can find work, I mean, and not just driving ride shares either. No, I'm not going to let you forget that, Christopher, or stop mocking you for it. I mean, the beach stuff is literally a South Park joke. I mean, come on, dude. A Another game is coming out, influenced by classic PlayStation horror from Blumhouse of all people. Oh, Fear the Spotlight on October 22nd. I'll probably keep an eye on this one. I certainly hope it's good, especially as Annapurna Interactive, their entire studio, who just walked out. Though it's not going to affect their movie division, it does really stink that's happened. I actually really liked a lot of their games, but that'll be a matter for another day. Gonna keep this moving. Okay, so it's entering early access in November, so now we're getting into here for this game, but Towers of Agazba, it's something a peculiar adventure, her title, by the developers on a mission, but again, it's not one that also I would totally object to. I mean, that's what I'm noticing here. I mean, while there aren't that many heavy hitters in this showcase, I'm definitely not. I'm doing my best to give everything I see here benefit of the doubt, even if it's not per se my cup of tea, so to speak. Quick aside here, Lego Fortnite getting a split screen mode and a collaborative controller, DualSense. And so, I mean, even with the discourse over the Elastigirl skin in the main game, I will just deal with all this as it comes, but seeing with the next title. Dynasty Warriors Origins now has a release date of January 17th of next year. Something of like a prequel or reboot of the franchise, which, no matter how good, was likely necessary after many years of diminishing returns, especially the ninth game, which tried to take it to an open world format and it just did not work. I mean, so there are times when a back to base approach is necessary for this, and even though I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get a PS5, I definitely know that's the date that Donkey Kong Country Returns HD is coming out. So, but I definitely wish Koei Tecmo and Omega Force best of luck in this game. Okay, so February 28th of next year, Monster Hunter Wilds. Getting more detail of the story, about more bonuses. You have save data from other games on your console, which is something I always like whenever they give you something extra for having played previous games. Definitely something I've seen happen since the 2000s when they still had swappable memory cards, or it's just like a prerequisite. What they all had internal storage and not on cloud storage, so there's that. I definitely think it looks entertaining, even though the story is going to be a little familiar. At least it has more reason to exist than the actual story duology does, and unlike Dynasty Wars I just mentioned, taking this franchise open world actually does make sense given how like the staging grounds of the other games are big enough in and of themselves where you track the monsters and try and find in them and trap them if you must. So let's continue. Okay, so November 14th, Lego Horizon Adventures. It is always quite interesting to me that even though I can definitely appreciate how real games have been getting, I still have a little bit of amusement over games where they're all Lego minifigures and Alloy is dressed as characters from Ratchet and Clank or the Sackboy from Little Big Planet. I guess it's make her Sack Girl, I mean. So, and while I'm on that subject, the original game is getting remastered on Halloween, no less, man. So, and if you have this version of the game like I do, it's another one that will be eligible to be upgraded, and I guess I'm kind of lucky one here. And I definitely don't have much to add about how Ally looks in this version because, of course, resolution is higher. We're going to be seeing more detail, even if it's not detail we would have expected either. I mean, and especially in regards to her muscle mass, I mean, I understand how some people can feel, but it's hardly like she like a comparable Street Fighter character of that muscle mass. I mean, take it easy, guys. Hey, so Starlight Blade is still chugging along, getting an update with a photo mode and a collab with Near Automata coming. To which I simply say, okay, before I quickly move on to we actually got a reveal like what's coming to PS Plus early this time. Given how it's going to be Tuesday, we're going to be leading off the month with WWE 2K24, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, more interesting Guitar Shoujo personally, and around out the essential tier for PS5, the Dead Space remake, which I actually heard good things about. I don't have much to add about Dino Crisis coming to PS Plus Premium, nor Last of Us Part 1 coming to Extra. We also have Indigo, Pearl, and Teal console variants coming fairly soon, and Now, let's do a quick recap about the next console variant. I am still seeing like the PS5 Pro model for what it is. A high-end collector model for the very top of the market. Love it or hate it. Another round of pre-orders just sold out. There's also a sizzle reel of enhanced games, both first and third-party titles with more to come. I'm not sure about GTA 6 being added to the enhancements for the Pro model, but I would love to see, say, Batman Arkham Knight or Cyberpunk 2077 get Pro Boost, like, say, everything from Resident Evil to Final Fantasy VII Remake Trilogy, getting some, not to mention Gran Turismo 7, then, and The Last of Us Part 2, so there's that. But to close out this presentation, I can definitely say that, much like their rivals, they actually end up saving the best for last. I am pleased to say, hey, that with the acclaim and success of Ghost of Tsushima, I was expecting that when I first saw all the landscapes of ancient Japan, rendered in glorious detail, as well as start hearing the strings of the shamisen, that was going to be an enhanced version of the previous game or remaster, but now something even better. A full-on sequel sends face whole universe with the same developers, Ghost of Yote. Hey, this is easily my highlight presentation, and I also would argue one of the many reasons that Ubisoft is panicked about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Trust me, there'll be another time to discuss what's going on with them. Say in my October gaming vlog, I feel so inclined about that one. Anyway, I've got to see it for now, and as I work on finishing my final draft of my 300 Survivor special, I'll talk about another presentation this month that's related to it. Just have to see it, wait and see what it is. So, for now, gotta speed, kid.